What's going on, you crazy animals? Buddha's here. Got a Throwback Thursday gameplay for you guys. This is Super Mario World for the SNES. But I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about the proudest moment of my life, and it was actually when I played baseball. I played baseball in Little League. I didn't play in high school. I kind of lost interest. But in my Little League, there were two subdivisions. There was the majors and the minors. The minors were 6-year-olds to 10-year-olds, and the majors were some 10-year-olds, the better ones, and 11 and 12-year-olds. Now, when I was 10, I felt like I had a pretty good season my 9-year-old year, and I felt like I really had a good shot to get drafted into the majors. But that didn't end up happening. I was really disappointed, and I was really disheartened, and I was mad, but I didn't really hold a grudge. And so I ended up playing in the minors my 10-year-old year, and I ended up having a lot of fun. I was the man on that team. Everyone looked up to me. It was really nice. I'm glad I was able to experience that. So my 10-year-old year was pretty solid. I ended up getting drafted onto a pretty good team when went into the majors my next year. The team was Bragger Construction. They had a really good rep. They had won the championship a few years earlier. They were always towards the top of the standings, and I was really so excited to have the chance to play for them. Now my rookie year, I didn't really do too well. I played catcher. My offensive skills lacked, but my defensive skills were very solid. Now I don't know if you guys are wondering what defensive skills I had. I was actually ended up catching a lot of pop-ups behind the backstop, made a lot of diving catches. I actually ended up climbing up the backstop to catch a ball. It was pretty sweet. But anyways, my offensive skills sucked. My defensive skills were pretty good. It made me useful, I should say. But it didn't give me any expectations for my second year at all. Now my second year came along. I was really focused on improving my hitting game because I really had trouble making contact all my rookie year. So I really just wanted to hone up on my offensive skills and keep my defensive ones and improve on those as well. And I actually ended up doing just that. I had a really good batting average. I can't remember what it was, but I don't think we recorded it. But I knew I got a lot of hits. And I actually ended up getting a pretty big hitting streak as well. I can't remember that either, though. So I ended up batting leadoff by the end of the season, or towards the middle of the season. And it was really humbling. I mean, to bat lead off is huge. To be like you're the man they expect to get on base all the time. It's kind of a lot of pressure, but I've never really been nervous in pressure cooker situations. I'm good at keeping my composure. And towards the middle of the season, the bases were loaded, and I came up to bat. And like I said, I've been a contact hitter my whole life, and I actually ended up hitting a grand slam, but I barely made it over the fence. It wasn't anything spectacular. And my coach gave me his usual spiel of about how just because you hit one home run doesn't mean you'll hit more. It doesn't mean you're a home run hitter. So don't go swinging for the fences every time. Which is, it's a pretty good thing to bring up because I can see something like that getting into kids' heads. But I'm not that type of kid. I wouldn't let that happen. So the playoffs came along. We ended up coming second in the league, I believe, and we had really high hopes going into the playoffs. Sorry about that, a little mental block there. And we ended up actually losing our first game to this team called the Red Sox. It was really disheartening, but it was a double elimination tournament. We still thought we had a shot. So the second playoff game we had, it was an elimination game. Um, my team ended up playing Elmwood Sports again, and it was a solid matchup. The score was tied going to the bottom of the sixth, which is the last inning, and the rookie that batted in front of me was up to bat, and he actually ended up getting walked. It was really nerve-wracking at bat because obviously we want to get the win. It's the playoffs, stakes are high, and he ended up getting walked. So they replaced that pitcher, which is their best pitcher, and they put a new kid in, and I had never seen him pitch before, so I was really nervous. But I tried not to think too much of it. It was in the back of my mind that it was a new pitcher, and I had to face a fresh kid. But it didn't really bother me too much. Like I said, I kept my composure pretty well. And before I went up to bat, the coach's son took me aside, and he actually told me, he batted behind me, he told me just to get on base and that he would hit me home and he would be the hero. And I didn't want any of that. I cannot stand cocky kids. I've never been able to stand them. and I jokingly around I told him I was gonna hit a walk off. So I went up to bat, and I choked up on this bat, and the kid threw a pitch right in my sweet spot. I was a little down, a little in, and I cranked this thing. This thing went right, sailing over the left center fence. And rounding the bases, I had a smile ear to ear. I had friends that were playing on the other team, playing defense, and they gave me a high five. And rounding third, I took off my helmet and I threw it up like David Ortiz did in the playoffs, and my whole team gathered around me. They all jumped on top of me, and I honestly can't explain what the feeling was like. It was amazing. And that's really all. That's the story I got for you guys today. This video is over. I gotta go to work. So click that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Favorite it if you want to. And check out my other videos. You might find something you like. All right. I'm running late. Buddha's bouncing.